Okay. So what we are going to discuss, we are going to talk about basically selection of stocks. Now, this is a common issue that everybody faces, that what stocks to buy, what stocks to trade into. Okay, so the objective or the focus for today's discussion is how do we select a right stock, how do we enter into a stock at the right price, and how do you basically build overall a profitable portfolio. And then we can also discuss about update of the stock market, in the sense where the Nifty is headed, where the Bank Nifty is headed, and also we can discuss some of the stocks of interest to you. You can share some 3-4 stocks that you want to discuss. So that's what we'll discuss. Okay, so let's move on. So some of you know me, some of you do not know me. So a quick introduction about myself. So my name is Ritin Chaudhary. By qualification, I am an engineer and I also done MBA. And since 2017, I am running this firm RGS Consulting. I am a director over here, partner over here. And RGS Consulting, we are offering various services related to stock market and cryptocurrency. So the services are portfolio management, portfolio consulting, and advisory services, and trainings also. These are the major services that we have. So that's a quick word about myself. Before starting RGS, till 2016, for almost 15 years, I worked in the corporate world, and I worked with MNCs like Cisco, Accenture, etc. So that's a brief background. So let's move on. So as I mentioned, what we are going to discuss today.
Ritin, we are losing you in between.
You are losing me in between. Give me a second.
Yeah.
There's some net issue.
Some connectivity problem.
Yeah, there is some net issue going on. 1 second. Is it better now?
Yeah, for now it's okay.
Okay. Yeah.
But if you face again, we'll
Yeah. Please let me know. Yes.
We lost it again.
Lost again. Give me a second. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah,
hello?
now we can. Now we can.
Okay. Yeah, fine. So as I mentioned, we'll discuss about the stock selection process. How do we basically go about using some tools to basically select stocks? Now, in general, in market, it is I will say a best practice or a recommended practice that we trade into selected stocks. I mean, market have got like thousands of stocks. So as an investor, as a trader, it is important that we work in selected stocks and focus upon those stocks, and then get the returns that we are looking for. So when I say selected stocks, you can have a list of like 12-15 stocks, 12 to 15 stocks, or 15 to 20 stocks, and then you focus upon them. But the point is, how do you select those 15 to 20 stocks, right? I mean, a lot of people, especially people who are new to the market, may not be aware. And what should be the selection process they should go for? So that is where I thought, let me share this information with you all, and you can use it for selecting the right set of stocks. So currently, if I may ask, if you can share some of your experiences, how are you people currently selecting the stocks and investing in some stocks? Can one or two of you share? What is your criteria? I'm sure all of you are invested in stock market. You must have bought stocks.
So Ritin, maybe I'll start. This is Rahul. I have a portfolio, very small portfolio, not much, but with losses. So, so I'm not new to investing, but then still, stock selection is a problem. So usually, the selection is on the basis of news that are around.
Mhm.
But I believe by the time the news are out, the prices are already jacked up. So that's usually how I go with selection of the stocks.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the case for many. Anybody more who would like to share something? So, my take here is ideally we should not go by the news. Okay. Going by the news, as Rahul mentioned rightly, by the time the news is out, the juice is also out. I mean, whatever the momentum that was supposed to be in that stock or the rally that was supposed to be in that stock, that move is already made. And the big operators, big investors have already made the investment. And then the news comes to the retail and the retail gets trapped at a higher level. So that's what typically happens. So we should not really trade on news. So how we should trade? So let me share my perspective on that. Okay. So there is an interesting or a very useful site called as investing.com. Most of you must be aware of it. So I am not talking about entry or exit point. I am talking about how to select a stock. Okay. So always the step one is which stock, and then the step two will be what price. Okay. So we'll talk about which stock first. So let's work on that. So if you go to investing.com, here you can basically just use a simple tool. And what you can do here is look for Nifty. So I'm talking about Nifty stocks. Now within Nifty, there are various indices, right? Nifty 50 is there, Nifty mid cap, Nifty 200, Nifty small cap, etc. So let us focus upon Nifty 50. Now, here you can see the components, okay? Components of Nifty 50, which are the stocks which are there in Nifty 50. So these are the stocks which are part of Nifty 50. Now in general, we know Nifty 50 stocks are typically good stocks and they will have a less risk comparatively. But then within Nifty 50 also, you can do a further drill down and select right stocks. Okay, so for that, what you should do, you should go to performance. Okay, now in performance here, you can see the performance of a particular stock over a different time period. So you can see from daily, weekly, monthly, YTD performance for 1 year and performance for 3 years. Okay, so how you select your list of stocks? So what I typically recommend is look for stocks which are in green for last 1 year and 3 years. Okay, so any stock which is green, which is in green for last 1 year and also for 3 years is definitely a good stock, because you cannot have a stock green for 1 year and 3 years and still that stock is bad. Okay, so let's see which are the stocks which are green for last 3 years. Now if you can see here, there are certain stocks and these are the usual suspects. These stocks are red for last 3 years. Okay, so for last 3 years, these have given negative returns. And let us look at stocks which are positive for last 3 years. So these are the stocks which are positive for last 3 years, right? This is Tata Coffee, Tata Motors, Divi's Laboratories, Hindalco, etc. And these are positive for last 1 year also. So that makes your life easy, and you can select these stocks, these 15 stocks or 20 stocks, and comfortably you can look at working on those stocks. Okay, now if you see the list here, These are all blue chip stocks, and typically these are doing good. Okay. Now let's look at the performance of these stocks on some other parameters. Now let's say the top performer here is Tata Coffee, Tata Global Beverages, right? Tata Consumer Products Limited. Now there is another tool called as Ticker Tape. You might be aware of this. This is also a very interesting tool to use. So just put your stock name here. Consumer. And then there are certain other parameters which you can use to evaluate a particular stock. Now here they have given something called as investment checklist. Okay. So there is a criteria called as default probability. Default probability means if a company has taken loan, or if a company has to make payments to the lenders or to suppliers, what is the probability that they will default and not make the payments? So they are saying default probability is low here, which means the company has got very good financials and they will not be most probably defaulting on their liabilities. Quality check, satisfactory performance in quality checks. Growth score, satisfactory performance in growth score. Okay. So this is the fundamental part of a company which we are checking. Here what we saw was the technical performance of the company. Technically, from the price wise, the company has done well. But is this performance also reflected in the fundamentals? That also we should check. We should not blindly go by the prices, although it's quite, high probability that the fundamentals will be good for a company which is doing good for 1 year and 3 years. But still, we can double check here. Okay. Now, PE ratio for this company is 77.18. Now, if you know PE ratio, price to equity ratio, typically a PE ratio of around 20 to 30 is considered as a fair price. Anything above 30, the stock is considered as costly. Now, the PE ratio for this company is 77, which is actually pretty high, which means that it is overvalued. But then although it is overvalued, because the fundamentals are very good, the market has got a lot of, you can say, attraction toward this stock, and although the PE ratio is high, still it makes sense to look at this stock. What is the price upside? From the current level, this stock is expected to go 17.21% higher. Earnings growth is expected to be more than 18%. Revenue growth is expected to be more than 6.5%. Now, if we look at the peers, okay, there is this Bombay Burma Trading Company. Bombay Burma Trading Company is basically the holding company of Britannia. Okay. Now look at the PE ratio here. The PE ratio is 19.19 here, whereas for Tata Consumer, the PE ratio is 77. So although the sector is similar, but since there is a lot of positivity about Tata Consumer, their PE ratio is much higher compared to the PE ratio of Bombay Burma or Britannia for that matter. So similarly, you can look at PE ratio for some of the other companies. Okay. If we look at the financial trend, this is the revenue and green is the profit. So profit 0.5, 0.41, 0.46, 0.86. In 2021, they have made a significant jump in profit also and in revenue also. So these are the various parameters on which you can select a stock, and once you select a stock, then you can basically look at the entry exit levels, etc. for that particular stock. Let us look at some more stocks here. Let us look at some negative stock. How a negative stock is performing. Let's say Coal India. What has gone wrong with Coal India on fundamentals and why the performance is bad. So that also we can see. Okay. So on the quality X side, it is still healthy because it's majorly a government holding company. So there is a very less chance of default. There is quality X, which is fine. Growth score is also good. But look at the P ratio. P ratio is just 8.12. It shows that investors really lack interest in this particular stock. Anything that is having a P ratio of less than 10 or less than 15, which means the market is not interested in that particular stock because market doesn't really see a good growth story in that particular stock. But having said that, sometimes the market may not be really, the market may be unduly putting some stock under pressure. Now, if we look at the fundamentals here, price upside is good, earnings growth is good, revenue is good, P ratio is very less, which means this stock is technically undervalued. Okay. And if you ask me, I will not mind putting some money into this stock. Okay. Because their revenue is going higher, and compared to their financials, the PE ratio is very, very less. So definitely it can go to 15 or 20, and you might want to invest in these stocks. So this is one simple way of looking at stocks from the price performance point of view and their fundamentals point of view. So any query here? You can unmute yourself and talk. People who have just joined.
Ritin,
Yeah.
I have two future lot of Goal India bought at 182 and 177. I'm rolling it for last 2 months. Okay, so it's better to get rid of that or book the loss, or we can keep it for some more time, one more rollover or something. For last 2 months, it's trading and down only 147, 150. Yesterday it came to 164, I think, but it is more or less in this range only.
Yeah, so I think since it is future, so
Yeah.
there is not much of an issue in terms of decay, right? So you can hold. I feel that once you see some kind of movement in the price, you might want to exit because it's slow. It is not moving fast, and whatever we are discussing right now is from the point of view of delivery buying. So I am not talking about
delivery. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, correct.
So I am discussing from the delivery point of view. When we say
Delivery, okay. Yeah.
So when we say delivery, we keep a time horizon of at least 6 months to 12 months. So at least I am saying, ideally it should be 2 years to 3 years also. So our discussion right now is from the point of view of delivery. So from delivery point of view, it's a good stock. I will say if somebody has a time horizon of 2 to 3 years, definitely you might want to look at it. From the futures point of view or from the options point of view, it might be a little risky to take long positions in this stock right now. Yeah. So I suggest you might want to exit.
Done. Yeah, done.
So any other query on this? We are talking about from the stock selection. How do we select a stock? How do we prepare a list of our stocks? And then next we will talk about entry exit points for a particular stock. So coming back to our initial point. So this is how you can prepare your list. Okay. So if somebody wants, you can just focus upon the top performance here. So let's say you select some 15 top stocks and then you can focus on them and do buying and selling in those particular stocks. Okay. So just I will read out the list of stocks for you here. It's Tata Consumer, Tata Motors, Divi's Laboratories, Hindalco, this is Bajaj Finance, this is Bajaj Finserv. Then you have Bharti Airtel, Titan, Tata Steel, Asian Paints, Infosys, Grasim, GSW, HCL Tech, ICICI Bank. Now, if you see here, this is also a mix of different type of companies. So it is not, you can say, heavy on one particular sector. You have FMCG companies, you have automobile companies, you have telecom companies, you have finance companies, you have pharma companies. So you are also getting a broad mix of different sectors, which is also quite important. In investment, you should not basically put all your eggs in one basket, or you should not be heavy on one particular sector. I see a lot of investors that they are invested heavily in chemicals or heavily in pharma, very heavily in IT. So that's not ideal. You should distribute your investment across various sectors So we'll talk more about that in detail. So this is how basically you select the list of stocks. Okay. Now we will talk about the entry exit points for a particular stock. So let me open a new site. So TradingView is the site we use for charting. Okay. I mean, you can use various other sites. Investing.com itself also has got charts, but then professional traders or professional people like me, we prefer to use TradingView. So there are free versions also, and there are paid versions also. So you can start with using the free version. Okay, Asian Paints is part of our list. Where is our list? Yeah, you can see here Asian Paints. Okay, now if somebody has to buy Asian Paints, the point number one is that you have selected the right stock. That okay, Asian Paint is one of my focus stocks. The next question will be at what price to buy and what price to sell. Okay, so there the technical indicators play a role. Now I will try to show you one simple technical indicator. And you should use a proper time frame. When I say proper time frame, you should use ideally daily time frame. Okay, on daily time frame, you can use one simple indicator called as Bollinger Band. Now, some of you might be knowing this indicator, some of you may not be knowing that. So we'll talk about that separately. Right now, our focus is not learning technical analysis, but I'm just giving you a glimpse of how you can go about using the charts. So what we are basically seeing here is the candlestick pattern, that is the price movement of the stock. Okay. Now within this price movement, if somebody wants to take a decision that, okay, at what price should I buy? Let's say it went almost up to 3,500 or 3,600 on this particular date. What was the date? 7th of January. So is it the right level to sell? If somebody is holding, should he or she sell it here? Or right now it is down. It is up to 3232. So are we supposed to sell it here? Right. So obviously these questions will come to your mind, and then there has to be some kind of analysis on the basis of which you can decide whether to hold or exit or buy. So I am giving you one simple tool. This is called as Bollinger Band. Now if you use this Bollinger Band system, so this gives you upper band and a lower band. Okay. Now if you see here, currently the Bollinger Band upper value is 3302. Okay, if you can see it here, 3302. It is also mentioned here. You can check this particular area. So here the values are mentioned. Whenever you place your cursor on the candle at the Bollinger Band, next to the Bollinger Band, you can see the prices 3202, 3302, 3102. So what it means, 3302 is the higher band, higher price level, and 3102 is the lower price level. So if you are holding this particular stock as an investor who has a time horizon of minimum 6 months or 1 year, so safely you can buy this particular stock at 3102, and if you are holding it right now, then you should definitely sell some part of your holding at the upper band, which is 3302. So if the price goes to 3302, you should look at selling some part, if not completely. And because definitely the price will go down from the higher band, it will go lower. And if the price goes to 3102, definitely it's a level wherein you can look at buying. If you want further safe entry, okay, or further safe exit, then you can increase your time frame and go to 1 week. Okay. So on the 1 week, the higher price band is 3483 and the lower price band is 2984. So at 2984, again at a lower level, you can look to enter. And at 3483, you can definitely look to sell. So when I say sell, you need not sell your complete holding, but maybe 50%, 75% of the holding you can look to sell. So is everybody clear with this? Any questions on this?
Yeah, Ritin, like, does that mean that it won't go further beyond 3483 in 1 week?
Yeah, so as I said, you need not sell complete quantity. Okay. So it is
Yes.
quite possible, that it will go higher. Okay. From 3483, it might go further higher also. Okay. Now, if you ask
Okay.
me how much higher it can go, I already have one more indicator that can show you what can be the higher price level. Okay. But I just wanted to keep it a little simple right now, but still let me share that. So this is something called a trend line. I don't want to overcomplicate the things for you because a lot of beginners are here, but still if you see here, it can go all the way up to 3869 or let's say 3900. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Then the point is whether it will go there or not, the probability is less. So
Mhm.
there is a higher probability right from this upper band, the price will go down.
Okay.
So one question, Nitin. So the price band that we're talking about, I mean, for a weekly trend, is it are these the price bands where we should look such as fluctuation at a weekly basis, or this is more of an entry level at any point in time? Since we're talking about 2984, which is much lower than the previous one, which we saw at a daily level. So
Yeah.
can we say that in a week's time, if it goes around 2984, I can safely buy? Or if it goes anywhere between, say, in a month's time or something around 2984, I can buy? Or
Yeah,
how
yeah.
does it?
So anytime if the price is going close to 2984, I mean, it did not be exactly 2984. Anywhere close to that, let's say close to 3000, if the price goes, it's a safe entry. Okay.
Okay,
Now, when I say safe entry, it need not be 100% perfect.
right.
In market, when we are buying or when we are selling, not necessary that your buying price is the lowest price, or not necessary that your selling price is the best price. Okay.
Correct.
So there will be always a 10%, 15%, you can say error. Okay, but that's okay. You need not have a perfect entry or perfect exit, but a entry which is good and an exit which is good. That is what is important. Now, what happens? Let's go a little back. Now, let's say somebody bought at 2800 or let's say 3000 here. Okay, in October 2021, and the price went all the way up to let's say 3500, and he or she has not done anything. They are just holding, not doing anything. So there is no benefit of this price movement, right? So if somebody is looking at this charts and if somebody is basically managing their entry and exit, then they will be able to make excellent profit. Let's say somebody has bought here at 3000 and sold here at 3500, or let's say even 3450. Still, we are looking at a profit of 15%. A 15% profit in 2-3 months is definitely good, right?
Much better.
And if you are doing such 3 to 4 trades in a year, you are getting like 60 to 75% returns on the same stock, and you will get that kind of movement in a year. If you look at this stock over a period of 1 year, at least 3 to 4 times you will be able to enter and exit. So this is how we can define the entry and exit levels. If somebody is looking at a shorter time duration, you should use on the daily. You should look at the daily. On the daily, obviously, the levels will be slightly different at the lower level. And if you want to play safe and if your time horizon is longer, then you should look at the weekly.
So one question, Ritin, if the chart that you're showing, the weekly chart, it's starting somewhere. I mean, we're looking at from 2020 dates as well. So 2020, when it was in 2020, the price was much lower, right? So it has its own bottom and top, right?
Yeah,
So
so yeah.
on a regular basis, the prices are moving. So then how do you define that? Okay, am I entering at the right price point or not? Like regularly, if you go with this band,
Yeah.
Bollinger Band, it will show me a different price range depending on how the movement is.
Yeah. So see, 2020 movement was something, I mean, the March 2020 prices that we are looking at, it's something quite, I mean, something one happens once in a decade or so. It's not going to happen regularly. Okay.
Correct.
So if you want to if you want to understand a long-term bottom of a stock or a long-term top of a stock, then there are some more indicators that we need to look into. Okay.
No, my question is not around that. My question is, let's say I'm in 2020. Okay.
Uh-huh.
At that point in time, my top value is 1892 and my bottom is 1679. Okay. But
Mhm.
immediately, if you move right, your prices move a bit.
Yes.
So then, do I get these entry points, exit points?
Yeah. So see what happens if the market, when the market has bottomed like in March 2020, then you need not wait for the lower band. Okay. See, this is the upper band, this is the middle band, and this is the lower band. So, okay. So if the price is just not coming down, or if the market was at a very, you can say, oversold territory, then you might use the middle band also.
Okay.
So you will get entries around the middle band also on a weekly.
Okay.
Or you can look at the daily, simple. If you go to 2020 and daily, there also you will be able to get the entry exit points.
So I'm sorry, maybe I'm asking a stupid question. So maybe, I mean, from a daily point as well, the numbers that we get, or the higher point and the lower point ranges that we get, do we really get that kind of an entry and exit opportunity to buy at such rates and to sell at such rates?
Of course.
Like here, you are at 30th March. Okay, so sorry, if you could go back, please. 30th March, around 30th March, yeah. Okay. So if you stay here, it shows me the higher range of around 1970 and the lower is around 1489, right? So if let's say I want to enter at 1489, I'm waiting for 1489, but I don't see it's reaching 1489 for any time sooner. So in that case, should I wait, or I mean, how does it work?
It depends on your risk appetite. Okay. Now, if you want to take slightly higher risk, you know the lower band and the upper band. Okay. Now, if you want to take slightly higher risk, you can buy at a higher price. If you want to play completely safe, then you just watch.
Okay.
Then you just wait, because it is not only one stock that we are trading in. You will have 15 stocks.
Right.
So if not Asian Paints, your some other stock will give you an entry.
Okay. Okay, understood.
Not necessarily we are trading in one single stock, right?
Right.
So out of your 15 stocks, some or other stock will give you the exact entry
points. Okay, understood.
So in trading or in investing, I always suggest that we should stick to our strategy. And if we stick to a strategy, then in the long run, you will make good money. I mean, you might miss or you might lose some opportunities. Okay. Now, let's say you are waiting for 1469, 1400 for Asian Paints, and it did not come to 14. So this particular rally you are missing. Okay.
Right.
But which is okay, because it is against your strategy to buy. But here again, you are going to get an entry point. Okay. You missed in May, you missed in March, but in May you are getting an entry.
Okay.
Whereas here in March or in April, there will be some other stock which will give you an entry, which will give you.
Okay, understood.
So that's the reason we have to basically look at multiple stocks. So we don't want to focus on only 2-3 stocks. At the same time, we don't want to look at 30-40 stocks.
Correct.
Okay. So a sweet spot is a list of around 15 stocks. You work on a list of 15 stocks, which we are able to basically find out here. And in these 15 stocks itself, you will be able to do handsome trading.
Okay.
With handsome returns. Any other stock you people would like to explore? We can just quickly study.
I wanted to talk about CEAT. I had a very bad entry point around 1800, 1900, almost around 2 years back. And since then, it has never, never reached the levels.
Yeah, so let us look at the performance of CEAT first.
Mhm.
Okay. Now CEAT as a stock. It's not in our list.
Right, it's not in the list.
I have to watch list, create list once again. So these are the various stocks that I track myself.
Mhm.
Let's see it. Okay, look at the performance of CEAT, right?
Correct.
On 1 year it is down, on 3 years also it is down. So
Correct.
now since you know the techniques, you will know that you are not supposed to touch this stock.
Right, right. So now I'm already invested in this heavily. So
Yeah.
I should just book the losses and move on.
So look at the Bollinger Band for CEAT, although it is in loss, but still there will be movement. So it's not
Okay.
that dead stop.
Yeah, it does give movement. It moves from 1000 to 1200. That's the range it moves around.
Yeah.
But I was skeptical even to invest further, to even level it up.
Yeah, don't put more money into that, but then you can look at the Bollinger Band for CEAT to see how in
Okay.
a simple manner and look at the levels and then go for it.
Okay. Okay.
Right. For example, now it's close to the bottom.
It's been a downfall.
So maybe
Yeah.
once it goes to this 1070 level and middle band and the top band, you might want to exit.
Okay.
So it will go there. It will take some time, but in case you can hold it.
It usually goes around 1200 ranges. It's around 1200, but then it roams around between 1100 to 1200. That's what I've seen the pattern.
Yeah. So see, it is overall in a big downtrend. So it is continuously going down, down, down only. So
Exactly.
it's not a good stock to hold.
Mhm.
And see, the beauty of this particular selection criteria that I am talking about. Okay. Where is that? If you basically follow this criteria now, this performance criteria,
Mhm.
even if the market is going down, okay, these top stocks will not fall much. And even if they fall, they will be the first to recover. Okay, this is another advantage of trading into this particular blue chip list, I will say.
Mhm.
One very important criteria that I keep for the portfolio is that if the market is recovering, let's say Nifty is recovering by 1%, your portfolio on that particular day should recover more than Nifty. Okay, we look at the daily performance of the portfolio. So let's say if Nifty is recovering by 1%, your portfolio should recover at least 1.5% to 2%, or it should be up more than 1.5% to 2% on a particular day. If your portfolio is not improving more than the Nifty, or if your portfolio is not outperforming the Nifty on any given day, then your portfolio is not healthy. So always just have that in mind.
Right. Mine never recovers.
Because see, as most of the retail investors, they go by news. Okay.
Right.
News comes late to you, as you mentioned. And your entry point is most of the time wrong.
Right.
So your entry time is
Correct.
also wrong, and your stock selection is also wrong. So obviously the performance will not be good. So now you people know that what should be the right stock and what should be the right entry exit points. So you can definitely look at much better performance.
Right.
Yes. Ritin, I have two basic questions. Like for a beginner to invest in stock, which one to choose, Nifty, NSE, or BSE? which one should be
So
the
NSE, BSE is more or less the same. That doesn't make a difference. And that is what we are just discussing, right? I mean, what I
Mhm.
don't know whether you missed the initial portion. We looked at the Nifty 50 stocks, okay? And within Nifty 50, we are looking at stocks which are performing good over last 1 year and 3 years.
Yes, yes.
So even if you are a beginner or a regular trader or investor, even if if you are somebody new or even if you are somebody doing it for 10 years, this is what you
Mhm.
should focus on.
Okay.
Focus on the 15 to 20 stocks there. Your life will be good, your portfolio will be good.
Mhm.
See, it doesn't mean that you should not go out of this list, but then be very selective when you are going out of this list. Okay. So of course there are some other various parameters that you can use. So there's a whole lot of technical analysis and study which is required. But then to answer your question, if you are a beginner or if you want to have a proper safe list with good risk reward, less risk and better rewards, this is something that you should look for. Okay, so let's move on.
Hello, Ritinji, I have one question.
Yeah,
What is your call on TCS?
TCS. Hello.
Yeah, my question is, what is your call on TCS, Tata Consultancy?
Tata Consultancy Services. Tata
Yeah.
Consultancy Services, is it there in our list?
It is in
Yeah, TCS is there in the list of our, I mean, it meets our criteria. Okay. So for 1 year and 3 year, it is positive. So definitely it meets our criteria. Now TCS is a large cap stock. So the movement will be little slow.
No, I am asking this question in light of the buyback declared by TCS.
See, buyback is an event. Okay. Now, again, I'm telling you in trading, investing, don't look at events at all. Don't look at events, don't look at news. Only look at the charts. Now, you know what is buyback? How much is the buyback value they are offering? I think some 18,000 crore.
4,500. Yeah, 4,500 yeah, per share.
4,000. No, not the price. The total amount that they are spending.
Yeah, I think.
So in buyback, what happens? In buyback, what happens? If you are holding a certain quantity, let's say you are holding 10 quantity, all your 10 quantity will not be taken back in buyback. Maybe if you are lucky, 1 or 2 out of your 10% or 20% of your holding will be you will be able to sell in the buyback. But what will you do with the remaining 80%?
Okay.
Right. Let's say somebody enters into TCS just because of the buyback. Let's look at the TCS chart. I follow TCS regularly, but not from the news point of view. In fact, I don't trade anything from the news point of view. Okay. So if we look at the daily, it is in the middle of the range. So it can go down to 3669 or it can go down to, it can go up to 3872. So just because of the buyback happening, if somebody enters and then it goes down here, then he or she is basically putting himself at risk, right?
Yeah, correct.
So just, I mean, if we want to basically stick to our strategy, just wait for this particular level. Whenever it comes, whether it comes in 1 month or when it comes in 3 months, you can enter.
Okay.
So avoid the news, avoid the events, just focus on the chart, focus on your basic strategy. That is what will give us the consistent returns. So we discussed about stock selection process. Now I would like to share some market updates with you in terms of what is the movement expected in Nifty. Just a basic update about the Nifty movement. So let us look at our Nifty chart. So let us look at a long-term chart of Nifty on a weekly basis. So currently it is close to support. Okay. This particular line, the 16,800, 16,900 is a very strong support area. And another next level of support is 16,370, or let's say roughly 16,300. Okay. I hope that it will hold it here. If we look at the past, this particular pink line, it's a particular moving average. Okay. So this moving average on a weekly is normally not broken. Here, if we saw in March 2018, it touched here, and from there it made a bounce. It went higher. Okay, here also, if we go to 2017, 2016, it basically remained close to this level and again made a higher high. In fact, it made market made a higher high from this particular level. So the point is around 16,400. It will be a good level to enter into. I mean, it will be a good level to buy some of your stocks. The stocks we spoke about here, all these stocks will also go down along with Nifty. And if you are able to get the entry points in these stocks, when Nifty is close to this level, which is 16,400, it will be a good entry point, especially if your time horizon is 1 year to 2 years. Now, can it go further down? It's possible if there is some major issue in the market, like for example, there are two issues which are currently impacting the market. One is the US Fed rate hike. If the US increases the interest rates, then the markets will go down. And also that Russia-Ukraine issue is going on. If one of those happens, then it is possible that this level will break. And if it breaks, then the market can go down all the way up to 13,000. So we are looking at a support at 16,300, and if 16,300 breaks, then it can go all the way up to 13,200. So as an investor, you can buy some kind of some stocks or some percentage of your portfolio you can put here at 16,300, and you can do a good amount of buying here at 13,300. So let's say if somebody has got 10 lakh rupees, for example. So out of that 10 lakh rupees, you can put like 3 to 4 lakh rupees here and another 3 to 4 lakh rupees here. Okay, so if you are able to buy here at this particular level and at this particular level, then those will be good entry points from the long-term point of view. Can the market go below this particular level? Yes, it is quite possible. Quite possible in the sense the possibility is always there, but then it will recover very fast. If somebody is buying at 13,000 when Nifty is at 30,000, and from 13,000, even if it goes to 10,000, doesn't really make a difference. It's okay. If your time horizon is 6 months, 1 year or 2 years, if the portfolio is down for 2-3 weeks or 1 month, it doesn't matter. That's how you should look at investing from a longer term point of view. So the important point here is Nifty, there is a good chance that it will go up to 16,300 from the current level. You can buy here, and in case it goes down further to 13,200, again here also you should do buying and keep some funds in hand. Don't put all your funds at 16,300, and in case the market goes down, you should always have some funds in hand to take benefit of the drop in the market. So that's the Nifty level that we can look for in the coming weeks. Any query on this? No query. Let's move on. Okay. So this is a quote which I always share in all my sessions by Mr. Warren Buffett, the god of investing. So what he says is that the best investment you can make is an investment in yourself. The more you learn, the more you learn. Now, after listening to whatever I shared with you, people, most of you will agree that this information is definitely valuable, and with this information, you can take your trade decisions, investment decisions more wisely and more profitably. Now, if you are not having time for studying everything and learning everything, then you can go for the professional services. Now, what are the professional services that we offer? That also I will share with you. Before that, I would just like to stress upon one point. There is a concept called as FOMO, fear of missing out. So if some stock is going very high and if it is rallying very hard, don't get FOMO. When I say FOMO, don't feel that okay, I'm missing the opportunities, because a lot of times it is as good as catching a running train, and you enter into a particular stock late at a higher price, you get trapped. So better to avoid that particular stock, wait for better entry as per your strategy, and get into a stock which fits your strategy. So avoid this FOMO thing. It's very important for investors and traders. So I shared the information about stock selection, about entry, exit, etc. Now, a lot of you are definitely having your own business, own professions, etc., and you may not be able to follow all the processes. So if you're not able to follow all the processes, definitely you can look at the professional services that I have, or whichever other companies in the market that are there. So either you learn yourself and do the things properly, or take some professional services. That's my point. My company, we are offering portfolio management services for stock market and for cryptocurrency also. Okay, in the portfolio management service, we work on a profit sharing basis. Then, so in portfolio management service, you don't have to do anything. We handle your portfolio. You can just log into your portfolio whenever you want and see what is the performance going on. If you want to do the things on your own, but you require some kind of guidance, then you can go for the advisory service. In advisory service, we provide the consulting. Then I also have quarterly fixed return services in case you want assured returns and in a timely manner. You can go for this fixed return service also. And then last but not the least, we have training services also. So whatever glimpse I gave you, this Bollinger Band, etc., this is a very basic type of technical analysis. There is much more advanced technical analysis which is possible and available. So if you want to learn, you can enroll for our training services also. So any questions on any of this service?
One question regarding the portfolio management services, Ritin. So you mentioned that you manage the portfolio, so we don't have to do anything, and we just log in and check the portfolio. So so our current this thing that we have, the brokers that we have, you will be using the same brokerages, or you will open a separate account with a separate broker that you're comfortable with?
So we prefer ICICI Direct. Okay. So if you are having existing ICICI Direct account, we can use that. Otherwise, we'll prefer to open a new account.
Okay, but then you must be having so many users who must be enrolled with it. So is it from time perspective, is it okay that you log into all these accounts and do this tracking or do this buying and selling? How do you manage? I mean, just want to understand.
So we have an order management team.
Uh-huh.
So all the research, analysis, etc. is done by me. And as per my research analysis, my order management team basically does the order management in the respective portfolios.
Okay. One more question. So usually for ICICI Direct, whenever you sell a stock, the money gets directly deposited back to the bank account.
Okay.
So then how do you manage, like, do you take it back automatically? How much you take it back? How do you control that part?
So normally what we recommend the clients is that you keep a separate ICICI bank account, saving account for the trading purpose, so that there is no, what you call, confusion. So in ICICI Direct, the thing is that you can directly pull the money from the bank account to the trading account. You don't have to do EFT or IMPS and all that. So the settlement is immediate. if possible, we suggest the clients to have this account dedicated for the demat purpose.
Mhm.
Otherwise,
Okay,
also there are
that-
there are workarounds, but then if you
Mhm.
keep it separate, that's better.
Okay, okay. Because usually, I mean, Kyle, I'm coming from my own experience. Mine is a salary account. It's directly linked to ICICI Direct. It's the same account which is there for last 16, 17 years. So changing it, it's I'm not very comfortable with it. So from that perspective, I wanted to understand like how does it
Yeah,
work?
yeah, yeah. So see,
Uh-huh.
you can create one more ICICI bank account, saving account,
Mhm. Mhm.
and you can link that to the demat account. You can change the account which is linked to the demat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, understood.
Yeah. Any other query on the advisory service or fixed return service?
Nothing from my side.
Okay. So everybody's clear. Let's move on. So in technical analysis, as I mentioned, there are so many other things that we need to look into. So Bollinger Band, I just give an example. So there are various patterns of chart reading. There are various candlestick patterns. Just you can just make a note of this. Then there are various indicators like VWAP and moving averages and this RSI, MACD, etc. Bollinger Band is something that I just showed you a demo of Bollinger Band. So if somebody wants to learn the technical analysis in detail, as I mentioned earlier, you can enroll for the training services also, if you have time and interest for the trainings. So,
Sorry to interrupt you. You have the training session. Sorry, you have the fixed training session, or how it you plan it in a group, or how it is?
so trainings, I don't have a fixed schedule for training. So when I have a batch ready,
Okay.
of, let's say 10 to 12 people or 8 to 10 people, we do
Okay,
an
okay.
online training or classroom training based on again the requirement of the participants. So we do it like once in 2 months we keep a full batch. So I have two type of batches. One is a classroom batch and another is an online batch. So classroom batch we basically finish the training in 2 days on a weekend, and online batch we basically finish it over 3 sessions of 5 hours each. Online batches.
5 hours each. Okay.
Yeah. So
Weekends,
Saturday,
right?
yeah, Saturday, Sunday,
Weekends, right?
Yeah, weekend. Saturday, Sunday, and one more, let's say Sunday. So these are the two formats. So in this full training, you can say it's a 2-day training, you can say. So in it, we cover all the details of technical analysis, right from basic to advanced. Then we also cover the details about options trading, various strategies for options. So it's quite exhaustive. Once you go through that training, you will yourself become an expert trader, investor. And after the training, we also provide 90 days consulting, 90 days guidance. Because during the training, you may not have a lot of, hand holding, yes. During the training, you may not have a lot of queries, but as you start, as you start applying the concepts, then you will keep on having queries. So for 90 days after the training, we provide you. Pardon me?
Let me talk to my friends. And 4 5 are there. I will talk to you. I'll take it privately. So we will see how to go about it.
Yeah, most welcome. Fine.
I'll take it to plan. Thank you. Thank you.
Sure. Okay, so let's move on. So I wanted to show you, does it really work? So this is my Twitter handle, and if you follow me on Twitter, I keep on sharing a lot of trade ideas. Okay, and you can see the actual performances over there. I wanted to share you with some stock performances, performance of some of the holdings that we have. Now, let's say State Bank of India. Now, these are some recent buys. Okay, the entry was at 433.98. This is the average buying price. I am not showing you the quantity and the holding value. It's not I will say appropriate to show you the actual holding value, whether it is 5,000 or 5 lakh or whatever. But you just look at the entry points. Okay, so the average entry point here is 433, and currently the price is 515. And if you see the return, the return is 18.74. Now this is the performance over last 3-4 months. In 4 months, you can say 18% return if we have gained on State Bank of India. Similarly, we discussed about Asian Paints. we bought at a lower level. 2899 is the average buying price. Currently, we are holding it at a profit of 12.3%. So we have already done some selling and buying in this, but we are just holding some part so that in case there is a further rally to 3500, 3600, we should have something. So this is, I mean, the example that I showed you is not just for the theoretical discussion. This is actually the trading that we are doing. Now, this is some old buyings, long-term buyings. I mean, we were able to take benefit of the March 2020 dip, so to say. So ICICI Bank, we bought at a average price of 292. Currently, the price is 748. And if you can see, we are in a profit of 156%. There is one stock called as Vinati Organics. It's a chemical stock. Again, the buying price is 800. Currently, the price is 1882 and it's a profit of around 130%. So this is how you can basically actually go for the trade. This is how the trades we are doing in the client portfolios. So it's not that we are holding completely whatever we bought at 292. After we bought at 292, slowly we have sold also some quantity. Some quantity we are still holding and we continue to do the trades. As I showed you an example of the Bollinger Band. So at a 15%, 20% moment, we are doing buying and selling also. So these are the trades for the portfolio management. Then these are some of the trades from the advisory service. The advisory service wherein we provide trades for, I mean, we provide trade ideas to the clients. And as per our trade ideas, the clients take the trades on their own. So here also you can see the performance. Like for example, this was a trade for options. Now we gave a call for Nifty short on this particular date. I don't have the date here, but you can just see here. The entry was given at 69 and target 1 and target 2 were given 84.99. On the same day, we were able to, if you can see the time here at 9:41, the entry was given and at 10:21, even target 2 was done and we made a profit of 30 points on this particular thing, one lot of Nifty. So people who trade into options, you will know what is 30 points in a Nifty. Let's say 30 point means 1500 rupees profit per lot. This is another example again of Nifty. 33 points done. Again on the same day, the call was given at 10:17 and by 12 o'clock the trade was completed. So in advisory, we focus upon Nifty and Bank Nifty option trades. And of course, we also give calls for the stocks delivery positions. Any questions here? So we use these links, investing.com, TradingView, then that TickerTape also that I mentioned. So these are some of the important websites that you can use for your study. Okay, so investing.com and TradingView, these are like very beautiful and very resourceful websites. A lot of information is available free of cost. Their paid versions are also there. For beginners, you need not go for the paid version. You can make good benefit from the free versions also. So this is something, another thing that I wanted, or another perspective that I wanted to share. So in trading, compounding is something that we can look at. Compounding, if we focus upon, as Einstein has mentioned here, compound interest is the eighth natural wonder of the world and the most powerful thing I have ever encountered. Okay, now what this means, I will just show you an example. Okay, if somebody is trading or investing with a capital of 1 lakh rupees, okay, and just try to digest this. If you are making consistently 5% return on a monthly basis, consistently 5% return on a monthly basis, your 1 lakh rupees over a period of 20 years will become 1200 crores. Okay, 1 lakh increasing to 1200 crore on a compounding basis. So you might say that on paper it looks good. Definitely it looks good on paper. Practically it is possible, even if Hello, I think I got disconnected. Sorry for that. So what I was trying to tell you is that this is the power of compounding in numbers. If we see 5 lakh, 1 lakh can become 1200 crore plus in a period of 20 years. Even if 10% of this happens, you are 1 lakh, forget 1200 crore, even if it becomes 120 crore, it is also still possible. The reason I am sharing this particular point is that this is the power of compounding, and we should always look at accumulating small profits. If we continue to accumulate small profits, this is where we can grow overall on a longer period of time. So just have this perspective with you. A lot of times people or investors or traders, they feel that I should have a jackpot. I should be able to make huge amount of money in a small duration of time, overnight or in a 1 week or in a 1 month. I should be able to make a tremendous profit. So that's not required, and that's not always possible. Okay, you just try to accumulate small profits continuously, consistently. You will create a good fortune. Are you able to see my screen? Okay, so just make a note of this. I hope you will appreciate this perspective. So we discussed about RGS services. These are some of the details. Just make a quick note of it. The minimum value for the PMS service, the charges for advisory service, and details about the fixed return service. You can just keep a note of it. Okay.
Yes.
Let me share my coordinates with you. Give me a second.
Yes.
Share my.
Ritin. Hello. Ritin, you are on mute.
Sorry, my bad. Yeah, so sorry for the internet issues. These are my coordinates. Please follow me on Twitter. You can also join my subscribe to my YouTube channel. I keep on posting various videos over there. So thank you very much for all your time. Let's be in touch. Any queries or any discussion you would like to have, you have my mobile number. All the coordinates are there. And let's be in, please feel free to contact me. So thank you very much. Thanks for your time. Let's stop here.
Ritin sir,
Yes.
Ritin sir, just one request. Can you share the recording of the meeting, sir? Because for the people who joined late.
Yeah. I'll share the recording.
Possible.
Yes, definitely. We will have the recording. I'll share.
Yes, also because there was so many disturbances.
Yes, that is a request.
Yes, definitely. I will do that. All right.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye.